If you're a witness, you'll be sent an important paper called a subpoena. A subpoena is a special document letting you know that you've been ordered to come to court. Don't lose that paper. The subpoena will say when and where you have to go to court. It'd be a good idea to clearly write the date you have to go to court in a diary or calendar so that you remember. Contact the court and let them know you'll need an interpreter. Do this as soon as you can so there is enough time to organise one for you. You can take a support person with you to court. They can't tell you what to say, but they can support you. You can take a friend, or you can contact the Deaf Society and see if they have a staff member who can go with you. It's a good idea to make sure you know where you have to go, especially if the courthouse is in a place you've never been before. It may be worthwhile checking the train or bus timetables if you'll travel by bus or train. It's also a good idea to put that information in a folder with the papers you need to take to court. Sometimes court can take a long time, so be prepared to wait a few hours when you arrive. And finally, check your clothes. It's important to look your best, like me. Many courts have security now. This is to protect everyone who goes into court. Local courts are always very busy. Most courthouses have lots of different courtrooms, so when you arrive, check the court list to find out which courtroom you need to go to. If you can't find your name or are unsure, then you can ask for help at the court office. Then you need to wait outside that courtroom until you are called to go inside. This is also a good time to meet with your interpreter and check you're able to understand each other before you go into court.
Yeah, thanks for the chance to do this today, Sandra. Hey Sandra, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you.
This is my friend Jenny.
At court, you might meet the police officer involved in your case. You could also meet the prosecutor, who is working for the police. Remember, you've come to court because you've witnessed the defendant possibly breaking the law. The defendant may also be in the same waiting area with you. If you find it upsetting or you are afraid of that person, it's best that you don't look at them or talk to them.
Sandra Dart?
Yes.
When you go into the courtroom, the court officer will show you where to sit. When you're in the witness box, you'll be asked to promise to tell the truth. This is called making an oath.
Do you swear by Almighty God that the evidence that you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please respond, I do.
I do.
You just sign, I do. That means yes. The first person to stand up and ask you questions will be the police prosecutor. They'll ask you your name, your address, and where you work. Then they'll ask you to tell the court what happened and what you saw. It's important for you to only say what you remember. Don't add or leave out any information. If you don't remember anything, then you say, "I can't remember." After you've been asked questions by the prosecutor, you'll then be asked questions by the defence solicitor.
Miss Dart, you said that you fell to the ground after being struck on the head.
The questions from the defence solicitor might be confusing or tricky because they're testing what you have said to make sure it's the truth. Again, just say what you know and what you saw and answer as truthfully as you can. Sometimes the defence solicitor and prosecutor may argue or not agree with the questions being asked. You don't need to worry about this. The magistrate will decide if you need to answer the question. Just follow what the magistrate says.
Thank you, Miss Dart. No further questions, Your Honour.
Ms. Dart, you're excused.
That's fine. You can go now.
When the questions have finished, you'll be asked to step out of the witness box and you're free to leave the court. You can choose to stay and watch if you want to see what decision is made. If there are no more witnesses and no more questions, the magistrate will make his decision about the case and decide if the defendant is guilty or not guilty. So, if you're going to court as a witness, this is what you need to remember. First, get to court on time. Second, take a support person with you. Third, ask for an interpreter before you go to court. Fourth, tell the truth. And fifth, if you don't understand questions, tell the court.